It's the day of the AI for PR conference by Communicate. I'm joined by Peter Heneghan, who is co-founder of Albie AI and also former Chief of Digital Communications for the UK government. Albie AI is a platform and consultancy for communications teams sort of navigating the new AI era. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Would you like to give a bit more insight into what Albie is all about and what you guys do?
Yeah, so looking at AI and the direction of travel, we realised that it's going to be truly transformational for communications, and therefore it requires a new operating model where you put the AI and your data at the centre, and then you have your expertise around that. So our starting point was to understand what that meant for communications teams. So we've travelled the world, worked with many teams from the UN to Formula One teams and many in between, and it led us to build a purpose-built platform for communications for in-house teams as well as for agents.
And why do communications teams need a purpose-built platform, and where were traditional or generic platforms or tools falling short?
Yeah, it's not that there's a problem with the existing platforms that exist. So your Claudes and your ChatGPTs, they're amazing, incredible, but they're generalist and you need to have expertise to use them well. So most people don't know how to harness AI. So what we've done is we've basically plugged in all the key models into one platform. It will do everything from strategy to content, social media, influence. It will do your AI search. It will help you in a time of crisis. And that's all trained on best in class practice. So essentially you have the best communications professional at your fingertips at all times in one platform. And it does most of the work you need, but then it's back to you as a human in the loop. We think that's ultimately the direction of travel. Is the existing AI tools like your Claudes, they're going to be productized, they're going to be plugged in, and they're going to use a product like the Albie platform to do your communications in the future.
And for communications professionals watching, where do you think that they're currently possibly going wrong with their AI use? And what sort of advice would you be giving them to change their approach?
Yeah, I think the biggest learning we have had, so we've spent 2.5 years traveling the world working with in-house communication teams and agencies. The biggest failure is lack of leadership. If leadership doesn't give you the tools, the training, and the right kind of, I'd say, permissions, then you're going to have one person or two people in your comms team who are doing amazing work, but the rest of it falls apart. We've been in organisations where they've just given them a co-pilot license and then said, fend for yourself. The productivity is almost zero. What you need to do is spend time to retrain your staff to use AI effectively. So my biggest learning there is it's not a lack of willingness, it's a lack of understanding and a lack of leadership, which is the biggest barrier to success.
And for business leaders then, what would you advise them to be focusing on for the next few years and beyond, I guess, sort of training staff and onboarding? What else should be their sort of strategic focus?
Yeah, it's a really great question. So what's happened is we've gone from awareness of AI to experimentation, limited success. For us, the next thing that has to happen, and a lot of leaders aren't ready for this, is redesign. You need to redesign your entire communications function, put an AI at the center, and then you have the right tooling. That's why we built the Albie platform, which has over 100 agents built into it. But the idea is you have the best tools, you have the best data, and then you retrain your staff. So they should be redesigning how the teams work to take and harness the AI more effectively. That's where you're going to have the most value. We're finding very few leaders are ready for that move. I have seen people in the likes of the Middle East who have taken that lead, and there's a few other companies. So I think if 2024 and 2025 was the year of awareness and experimentation, 2026, 27 is going to be the year of the redesign of a communications function.
Okay, so for anyone watching who might be feeling a little bit apprehensive at the sound of this new age of the communications function, where do you see human judgment and human expertise being valued in the communications process now?
Yeah, I genuinely believe that there's going to be a golden moment for communications. The reason being is you need to have smart people who have critical minds, which communications professionals have, who can articulate in person and in real life. They will orchestrate the AI tools, but ultimately you need to have sound judgment. I think for that reason, we're really well placed within our organisations to lead. So that's why I'm feeling particularly positive about AI for communications and PR professionals.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much, Peter.
No
That was really
worries. Thank you, I
fascinating.
appreciate it.